What happens when a comedy legend storms off a talk show stage in a moment that shocks the world? You're about to hear the story of Ben Stiller's explosive exit from Jimmy Kimmel Live, a moment that left the audience stunned and sparked a social media firestorm. Before we dive in, hit that subscribe button and drop a comment with your thoughts on Ben Stiller. Let's get to it. The night began like any other episode of Jimmy Kimmel Live. The Hollywood studio was filled with eager fans, celebrity interviews, and Kimmel's signature sharp humor. Ben Stiller, known for his iconic roles in films like Zoolander and Meet the Parents, was the main guest booked to promote his latest project, a satirical comedy series streaming on a major platform. Producers expected Stiller to bring his dry wit and perhaps share some behind-the-scenes stories. Kimmel, a host skilled at blending jokes with conversation, was prepared to play off Stiller's comedic energy. The stage was set for a lively segment, one that promised to generate viral moments. However, backstage, the mood was already tense. Stiller arrived earlier that day with a small team, and crew members noticed he seemed unusually tense and less chatty than usual. Sources close to production revealed that Stiller had been dealing with a grueling press tour, compounded by recent media scrutiny over his personal life and comments he'd made about comedy's current state. He was reportedly frustrated with questions that strayed from his work. During the pre-show briefing, Stiller made it clear he wanted to focus solely on his new series, its themes, and his role as both actor and director. He requested that producers avoid probing into his personal life or past controversies, emphasizing he was there to discuss art, not gossip. The team agreed, but some members felt uneasy. Kimmel's show often leaned into personal banter for laughs, and Stiller's boundaries didn't align with the expected tone. A producer suggested a fun bit about Stiller's comedic influences, which he approved, but the palpable tension remained. Meanwhile, Kimmel was preparing in his dressing room. Briefed on Stiller's request for a professional, boundary-respecting interview, he wasn't overly concerned. Having hosted Stiller before, Kimmel planned to start with light jokes about the series and his career in comedy. The audience, unaware of any backstage friction, roared with applause as the show went live. Kimmel opened with his monologue, riffing on the day's news, and when it was time for the main event, he announced Ben Stiller as the next guest. The applause was thunderous. Stiller walked out, offering a quick smile and wave. His demeanor was reserved but professional, and for a moment it seemed the earlier strain had lifted. He sat across from Kimmel, and the interview began. Kimmel started with safe questions about the new series and its satirical approach to modern culture. Stiller relaxed slightly, diving into the show's concept and his directorial approach. His passion was clear, and the audience was captivated. Kimmel, sensing the moment, tossed in a joke about Stiller's influence on comedy, which made the crowd laugh. But then, Kimmel shifted gears, asking about a recent tabloid story claiming Stiller had clashed with a co-star over creative differences. The question was meant to be playful, but it touched on a personal topic Stiller had asked to avoid. His smile faded. He leaned forward, his tone calm but firm, stating he was there to discuss the series, not rumors. The audience chuckled, thinking it was part of the banter. Sensing the pushback, Kimmel tried to recover and pivoted to questions about the series' satirical targets. But then, Kimmel took a risk. He asked Stiller about a recent interview where he commented on cancel culture, implying it showed his bold side. This was a controversial area, and it veered into the territory Stiller had requested to avoid. His demeanor visibly changed. He interrupted Kimmel, his voice steady but sharp, insisting he wanted to focus on his work, not hot-button issues. The audience grew quiet, absorbing the tension. Kimmel, trying to diffuse, asked about the cast, but Stiller wasn't letting it go. He leaned forward, directly addressing Kimmel. He explained that he came to share his craft, not to be baited into culture wars. He spoke about the effort he put into his series, the years of honing his craft, only to see interviews focus on divisive topics or gossip. The crowd responded with mixed reactions, some clapping in support, others stunned into silence. Social media was already buzzing with clips from the exchange, spreading rapidly. Producers in the control booth exchanged anxious glances, trying to figure out how to steer the conversation back on track. But Kimmel, sensing the segment was spiraling, made a miscalculated move. He asked about the pressures of staying relevant in Hollywood, mentioning rumors about Stiller's recent career choices. The question violated his earlier boundaries. Stiller's face tightened. Without raising his voice, he responded with piercing clarity, saying he had made his boundaries clear and felt disrespected. He told Kimmel that the audience deserved better than recycled narratives. The crowd gasped, some cheered, others murmured in shock. Phones were out, recording every word. The control room went into chaos, debating whether to cut to commercial. Kimmel, visibly rattled, tried to apologize, claiming he didn't mean to pry. But Stiller, already at his limit, expressed his dissatisfaction with the way he was being treated. He stated he was there to promote his work, not to be a prop for someone else's agenda. The studio was charged with tension. Stiller's pointed remarks about disrespect left Kimmel scrambling for a response. The audience was riveted, many recording the moment on their phones. Finally, Stiller announced he was done with the interview, unclipped his microphone, and addressed the audience one last time. He said they deserved real conversations, not manufactured drama. Then, with deliberate movements, he headed toward the stage exit. Kimmel, stunned, called after him, suggesting they stick to the series. But Stiller didn't turn back. He disappeared backstage, leaving a stunned studio behind as the director cut to commercial. The studio erupted into upheaval. The audience buzzed with excitement and disbelief. Backstage, Stiller's team escorted him to a waiting car. A few crew members lingered, one offering an apology, but he brushed it off. He said he wasn't upset, just done with being misrepresented. Photographers swarmed the studio exit, capturing images that quickly hit entertainment sites alongside headlines about his bold departure. Some outlets praised his principles, others called him overly sensitive. His team stayed quiet, focusing on promoting his series to redirect the narrative. Kimmel's team was in crisis mode, reviewing footage and debating how to handle the fallout. Kimmel himself appeared shaken, privately questioning whether he had misjudged Stiller's boundaries, though he maintained that his questions were standard. By the next morning, the incident dominated entertainment news. Pundits dissected every detail, with some supporting Stiller's stance on boundaries and others criticizing him for overreacting. The clips continued to spread, garnering millions of views. Stiller's fans rallied online, praising his integrity and dedication to his craft. His series saw a surge in streaming numbers, some attributing the spike to the controversy. Critics, however, accused him of avoiding questions and suggested the whole incident was a publicity stunt. The debate about celebrity interviews and media boundaries intensified, with some arguing that hosts should respect guests' limits, while others believed stars should expect tough questions as part of the job. Stiller remained out of the public eye, skipping promotional events and focusing on his work. His team capitalized on the incident's attention, releasing new promos that emphasized his satirical edge, helping refocus coverage on his series. Meanwhile, paparazzi continued to follow him, fueling rumors and further amplifying the story. The incident became a case study, discussed in podcasts and industry panels about the evolving nature of celebrity interviews. Kimmel's show experienced immediate effects. Ratings slightly increased, but some advertisers expressed concern over the negative publicity. The show tightened its protocols to clarify boundaries for future guests. In the days that followed, both sides adjusted their strategies. Kimmel avoided controversial questions in subsequent episodes, and Stiller stayed silent publicly. though his series gained critical acclaim and record viewership. The incident sparked broader discussions about the nature of talk shows, celebrity autonomy, and media responsibility. It exposed tensions between entertainment and authenticity, and the importance of respecting boundaries in a media landscape increasingly driven by sensationalism. While the controversy eventually faded from headlines, its lessons lingered, influencing how both celebrities and hosts approached interviews moving forward. Ben Stiller's walkout from Jimmy Kimmel Live wasn't just a fleeting moment of defiance. It became a powerful statement about respect and boundaries in Hollywood. It challenged the industry's norms and highlighted the delicate balance between humor, honesty, and personal privacy. Kimmel, caught off guard, faced the limits of his approach in a changing media world. That night's events remain a vivid snapshot of the evolving dynamics between stars and media, and a reminder that sometimes standing up for oneself can create ripples far beyond the studio. That's the story. What did you think? Drop a comment below and let me know.